Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of the Monday MOOcast. We're here with the news from the Moo straight to you. This is Greg Obert and
Andrea Musolf.
And we are going, just the two of us this week. No Mike. We kicked him out. No, I'm just kidding. He's somewhere else. He's got stuff to do. But we still wanted to provide you wonderful people with an episode. So here we go. We're going to do our best. And we know you're excited. Minus Mike. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm just kidding, Mike. We love you. So I guess we're going to talk about what we played this week. Andrea, what have you jumped into? Actually, the footage this week is from you. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
This week, I've been playing some Saints Row the Third. This first clip is just some usual Saints Row shenanigans, if you will. So usually, I didn't do it this time, but okay. Funny story. I was talking with one of my coworkers the other day, Skylar, and every now and then he asked me what video games I've been playing. I'm like, oh, I recently started playing Saints Row the Third. He gives me this look. He's like, isn't that a gangster game? I'm like, yeah, I guess so. But I guess I put my own little girly twist on it. This is my favorite car in the game, the Temptress, and I painted it so it's pretty and pink and shiny. And I pretty much, whenever I play this game, I always have to change my outfit at least once. So it's fun to go clothes shopping. But anyway, Greg's sitting here laughing at me. Yeah, we're playing a game of Pass the Mic. So anyway, I forget, what was I doing here? Just one of my favorite mini games is with the cat, Professor Genki. I think that's how you say it. It's like this strange Japanese game show. The announcers are really funny. So that's one of my favorite things to do, which I eventually do in this game clip. But yeah, I'm not the best driver in this game, but you can be reckless. And so I haven't played the first two Saints Row games. So with this one, not really familiar with the story, but I gather that, you're the leader of the 3rd Street Saints, and you need to get all your territories back. So in this particular instance, there are gang groups around, and you need to take them out in order to get your control back for certain territories. So this is me, some shenanigans. One of my favorite features is the kitty cat backpack, which I am wearing, and you can probably tell that when you sprint, its little arms go back and forth, which just makes me laugh all the time. So besides that, playing a little bit of Call of Duty, of course. Haven't played Modern Warfare 3 in forever, but Greg's really happy about that. I'm not, but I've been getting into Black Ops Zombies, and I know Greg has because he gets all of the achievements. Oh, goodness me. So I don't know, Greg, you want to go from there, comment on it?
Yeah, folks, sorry, we're Mikeless in a couple ways this week. Not only is Mike gone on his own personal stuff, but he is the one who normally supplies our microphone. And the program we're using is very basic, as we are just starting out. So we can only record one audio channel at a time. So we're going to have to play Pass the Mic this week. So just please be patient as we do that. And if you hear me or Andrea yelling in the background, we'll do our best to describe what is happening. But yes, so Black Ops Zombies is amazing. And I've definitely been getting Andrea into it. We're trying to get all the achievements. I only have 4 left. I'm very, very excited about that because they're all achievements I remember looking at, maybe even half a year ago and just saying, I'd never get these. Like, I can't even survive past, wave 8. I'm so terrible at zombies. But it's one of those things that you kind of have to learn how to play. And now that I've learned how to do it, I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really liking the whole thing. To your point of the story with Saints Row 3, Andrea, I don't really think you need to know the story for this game. I'm sorry, in a game where you can walk around and beat people down with giant purple dildos, I don't think there's really a deep, engaging narrative there. That's just me. Yeah, there's not. But it is fun. I'm sure I have to try it out at some point, so I'll have to get on that. But this week, I've actually been going a little retro myself. So, in addition to helping Andrea some zombie achievements and hopefully buttering her up for our Shangri-La Easter egg achievement, which is going to take forever, I went back and I finished Super Paper Mario, which was 2008 or 2009, I think, for the Wii that came out. Somewhere around there. And I enjoyed it. It was fun to go back through a second time. Some of the dialogue got a little annoying at points, and I think there were a couple like fetch quests or just, let's extend the gameplay just because we can. But overall, I really enjoyed going back through it. But in addition to that, I decided, I'm still kind of in a retro mood, so I popped in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I've been going back through that. And let me tell you, I don't know if this is just nostalgia talking or what, but I have had way, way more fun with that game than I ever did with Skyward Sword. And I don't know why, a game that's 14, 15 years old, I don't know however old it is at this point, is much better, in my opinion, than a game that came out last year. I think that's really sad, but I mean, hey, that's just what I think. I enjoy the lack of story that Skyward Sword tried to have. They tried to have this huge engaging narrative, and it just didn't work, in my opinion. And this game, you have a 5-minute introductory cutscene, and boom, you're playing. The quests are simple. If you want to find things, it's easy to do, easy to make money, which is nice. Skyward Sword, it was kind of difficult, but it was really mandatory. You needed a lot of money to buy things, and so I just enjoy the fact that if you're gonna make me buy things, at least make it easier for me to get money. So I appreciate that about Ocarina of Time, and even now I'm thinking about where I am. I just started the Forest Temple, and for those of you that know, you have to, or don't know maybe, but the door to the boss room is open immediately. But as you approach it, it shuts down, and there are 4 colored flames around this door, and they turn into ghosts, and they fly off in different directions in the temple. And so you have to go on this fetch quest and get these, 4 flames back. And while, to me, on the surface, it's kind of well, it's like a fetch quest, just like Skyward Sword. You have to go get these, these 4 flames just so you can advance in the temple. But to me, it's part of the temple. I'm already going to be exploring those areas anyways, so going and getting those flames, to me, I'm going to want to do that. And I think that was really good game design, whereas, oh hey, you need to go get this 1/3 of a song or 1/4 of a song and then swim through this giant area and collect all of my floating musical notes. No, I don't want to do that. Just tell me what the song is. That's dumb, because I have to go to 2 other areas and prove myself to get those parts of the songs too. But what is with that wall of flames? My goodness. Is this that Genki thing you're talking about?
Okay, so yes, this is the game show with the cat. And the idea here is that you get a certain amount of time, which you can see in the upper left-hand corner, and you have to score a certain number of points before your time is up, and you have to reach the end. So somehow pandas are involved. There are random targets that appear on the map. Like you saw earlier, there was a cat that said ethical, so clearly it is ethical and okay to shoot that target. Now, of course, you have to kill the enemies shooting at you and avoid the death traps. But if you see a target that comes up with a panda, well, that's unethical. And I think you lose points or something. I'm not really sure what happens when you shoot the panda target, but you don't want to do it because it's... Yes, he is in a hot dog suit. These mascots, some are just like cats, they're hot dogs, they're like energy drinks. This game is weird, but it's fun. I've definitely gotten some entertainment out of it. See, there's the panda. You don't want to shoot that. That's why I'm really careful to shoot the bunny or whatever costume that guy was dressed up in. So yeah, this is one of my favorite mini games in the game. Now this is the easy difficulty. Scattered around the map, you can go to different locations with this game, and they get harder as you progress. So it'll say, oh, here's Genki, but it's, easy or medium or hard. And they do get pretty tough. This one, again, was an easy one, so I didn't have too much trouble with it. But even on medium, I don't know. I was struggling, but I'm still kind of a newbie at this game. So, yeah, that's Saints Row for you. I like the fact that everything is purple. That's pretty cool. The gang colors is purple. But anyway, moving on to some PlayStation 4. I think, Greg, you want to take over with some updates on that?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just mesmerized by those giant green eyes moving back and forth. I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland or something. So I saw an article on Game Informer this past week about a rumor for the PlayStation 4, and apparently, supposedly, the PlayStation 4 is going to support 4K resolution. Now, I had no idea what that was, and I'm still a little fuzzy on it, but according to the article, it is apparently the next form of HD, so it will be beyond 1080p. And I guess some Blu-ray players on the market now do support 4K resolution, but I'm not sure why, because I've never gone to the store and seen any TVs with those specs. I just recently, I'd say maybe 8 months or so ago, bought a new TV, and I love it. It's amazing. But when I was doing, research and looking into things, that was not once brought up. And maybe that this is the kind of technology that right now only, the richest, fanciest people can get a hold of, and the rest of us just kind of have to wait. But I'm not quite sure why you would want to put that technology into your system, because I guess for me it's kind of like 3D gaming. There's a decent amount of games that are 3D, and I'm sure a lot of publishers are probably pushing for it, if developers can swing it at a cheap cost. But 3D TVs, personally, I think are just pointless because they're so expensive. Like, the industry has been trying to push 3D since Avatar came out, Well, obviously before that there's been like spurts of let's push 3D, but the most recent one was Avatar, and while 3D can be cool and I appreciate it, I'm not going to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a TV for 3D. It's just not going to happen. Now, if it's part of the TV that I'm buying, and it's not that much more expensive, maybe. But I don't see it as a selling point. And again, with the PlayStation 4, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see 4K resolution coming out anytime soon. But then again, I guess I think about the console cycle that we have now, and it's lasted how many years? So maybe the next cycle is going to be even longer. Maybe 10 plus years. So by that point, this stuff might be widely available. So it could be a smart move on Sony's part. But the thing that I guess aggravates me is, they're going to put this technology in their systems, but yet, fail to have backwards compatibility in any meaningful sense. And I know the PlayStation 3, the early models had it, but the later ones now, it's, if you want to play any of those games, you have to pray that it's on the PlayStation Network, or you have to go out and purchase a PlayStation 2, and that way you can play it then. So for me, I would much rather see backwards compatibility than 4K resolution because, again, like I said, I just recently bought a TV that upgraded to 1080p, and it is gorgeous. I don't feel the need to upgrade my TV for a long time now, knock on wood that it doesn't break or anything. So I don't know, what do you think about something like that, Andrea?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Okay, the 3D is cool and all, but personally, I don't know if I really need it, but that's just me. I think the only game I have in my library is Crysis 2, and I know that's 3D compatible. I don't know. I'm fine with the 2D stuff. It's kind of like 3D movies. I don't really feel the need to pay extra to see the same movie in 3D. Everything is 3D now. It's like 3D. Like, okay, great. I don't know. The technology is cool, yes, but me personally, I just don't feel the need to pay extra for that. I would much rather see backwards compatibility with games, because I know that was part of the reason why I got the Xbox, because I had a PS2 for the longest time, and whatchamacallit, part of the reason I got the Xbox was because, well, if I got a PS3, I couldn't play any of the PS2 games on it, which is stupid. So either way, I would still need my PS2, which I still have and play occasionally. So yeah, that definitely factored into my decision for buying the Xbox. But anyway, this gameplay here is my mediocre attempt at Black Ops. Not that great, but you know, it is what it is. This is kind of the average game for me. Nothing too exciting. It's rare that I get, like, you know, some insane kill streak. So yeah, this is it. Greg's in this game too, but you probably noticed that already. So actually, I should say this is the first time I'm playing this map, which is Zoo. And I like it. I know Greg and I talked about this before, but there are no animals. What's up with that? I don't know. It seems like it's missing the animals. It does. Greg's laughing at me. It's like it's a zoo. It should have animals in it. Anyway, like I said before, moving on. I understand Greg told me earlier that the Resident Evil is coming out with a website, kind of like Halo, where you can track your stats. I don't know, Greg, you want to go into that more?
Sure, I would love to. Just to your point of animals, you'd think that they would at least have monkeys on this map, because, you know, they're already in the engine. And just on a side note, I hate monkeys. After playing Zombies, Ascension, and Shangri-La, I can't even look at them. They just take all my power-ups, they take all my perks. I hate them. I hate them so much. But anyways, yeah, so Resident Evil 6 is coming out in October. I'm pretty sure it's October. And I guess Capcom is releasing creating a website called ResidentEvil.net. And much like Bungie did with Halo, or Activision is doing with Call of Duty Elite, you can go to this website, you know, register your gamer tag or PSN tag, and it'll just keep track of all your stats. And for me, I mean, obviously I haven't played Resident Evil 6 yet. I'm not really too keen on it because I did not like 5. But I don't know. I feel like at some point this is kind of just pointless. Like, you're playing a survival horror game, and I'm not really sure why you would need to keep track of your stats. I mean, what are you gonna do? Just say, like, how many zombies you've killed and how many points you're making? I'm not exactly sure what the point of it is. I don't know. What do you think, Andrea? Like, would you want to see more websites like this where you can track your single-player progress?
Honestly, not really. The Halo website is cool, and so is Call of Duty Elite. But, you know, because I every once in a while I like to check in on my stats. But how often do I really do that? Not a lot. So, you know, now I'm thinking if Resident Evil is coming out with a stat tracking website, maybe this is going to become the norm in video game land. Kind of like codcasting, like we talked about last week. Oh, God, don't even get us started on that. But I don't know. I see it. Maybe it is becoming popular, because at least from what I've seen, Halo was the first one that I signed up for, and then Call of Duty followed that. So, you know, I think for the diehard Resident Evil fans, this might be something that they like. But for me, you know, it may become the norm, but I don't see the need for it. I mean, you know, again, I check those websites occasionally, but I can't remember the last time I checked my stats on the Halo website, or even Call of Duty, and I play that game a lot more than Halo, at least right now. I usually alternate between the two. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't really see the point of it. I mean, I would much rather that these companies put their resources towards other things. Like, I guess I think about something like pretty much any Rockstar game ever and how they keep track of a ridiculous amount of stats in-game. And, you know, I don't really see the point of dedicating a whole website to just, like, your own Resident Evil stats. Like, and then what are they going to charge for that? Like a premium membership? Because I cannot imagine anyone paying for that. I mean, I maybe you want to pay for it, people out in internet land, but I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to. I'm barely reluctantly paying for Call of Duty Elite. The only reason I have that is because I want the DLC. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll end up being something pretty cool. Maybe Resident Evil 6 will be a fantastic survival horror game that won't have a ridiculous amount of action and ruin the series. Ha! Can you tell where I stand on the Resident Evil series? No, I mean, I loved 4. I think 4 was a really great balance between action and horror. I mean, those regenerator things were super creepy, and I hated going up against them, but it's kind of just... I'm not really seeing the survival horror aspect when you have heavy ordnance strapped on your back. Kind of like... Did I shoot you there? That was me shooting you. Yeah, I think you scared me. You know, I guess I think of games like Slender, which is the new recent, you know, I guess, awesome survival horror game out there. And if you haven't played it, it's free. You should definitely go do it. It's on PC. I haven't played it yet. I've watched some people play it. It is a creepy game. I definitely want to play it at some point here. But what other creepy game?
Oh, I was asking Greg, there was some other creepy game you played on the computer. What was the name of it? Yeah, maybe that's the one. Did you ever finish that? Oh, okay, wait, hang on.
No, she's talking about Amnesia. I got halfway through. I haven't finished it yet. I got to the archives. And that's kind of terrifying. So maybe that's why I haven't gone back to finish it, because I'm just too scared. But, yeah, I love survival horror. I think it's a great genre. I'm just, unfortunately, a little saddened by what I see in the market. I think, you know, especially like with Dead Space. I loved the original Dead Space. It was great. And even Dead Space 2 was fun. I think it lost a little of its charm. It gets the survival part right, but it doesn't get the horror part right. You know, I'm not horrified to go through this game. Like, it's boo, jump out and scare you kind of scary, but it's not, oh my god, like, that is really disturbing. Wow, that guy, what was that guy doing? Nothing. Yeah, that's right. So, anyways, hopefully I'll get that survival horror itch scratched soon, and maybe, who knows, maybe Resident Evil will surprise me. I'll keep my fingers crossed. But the next story I kind of want to move on to is Remedy. So Remedy is the creators of Alan Wake, and they have come out this past week and talked very briefly about what it's like to work on next-gen systems. So they have come out and said they're working on next-gen systems, whatever that is. I don't know if that's like Wii U, or, you know, the Xbox 720, PS4, whatever they're called. But a lot of people, well, I think they're owned by Microsoft, so I guess it would just be Xbox, because I don't think Alan Wake was on any other systems. But they mentioned that it is amazing to work on these next-gen systems, and that they are a, quote, a quantum leap ahead of what we have right now. Now, I know I personally have said this with every console generation, but it's like, how could it get any better? Like, just look at what we have now. But I think especially with where we are as an industry, I know, like, just recently going back to Ocarina of Time and seeing the graphics, and, you know, I mean, they work. They're not bad, but clearly it was an older game. but I know recently Resident Evil 4 came out on Xbox Live Arcade, PSN, and that game came out in, 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. It still looks great. I mean, the game is, nearly 10 years old. I mean, it still looks fantastic. And, I know that 10 years from now, if we go back and look at the games that we have now, they're still gonna look amazing. Like, I think we're definitely past that really, really bad PlayStation 1 Polygon era that just did not age well in the slightest. But, I don't know, I have to wonder, like, what it is they're doing to make it so much better. And not much is known about what they're doing. There's a lot of speculation that it's going to be Alan Wake 2, which makes sense after the cliffhanger of Alan Wake and the tease that was Alan Wake American Nightmare for the Xbox Arcade. But I hope it's Alan Wake 2, but I really have to wonder what they're doing. And I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Andrea? Are we at that point now where we can have a quantum leap? I mean, for me personally, growing up with Super Nintendo, NES, my very first gaming system was the Commodore 64. Like, I just can't imagine anything better than what we have now. Should I? I don't know. Like, what do you think?
I think that I remember back in the day playing Genesis and even PlayStation. I remember going... Well, let me start over. Going from Genesis to PlayStation, it's like, whoa, these graphics are so good. And even, my favorite series, Siphon Filter, everyone with their square heads, it was like, wow, these graphics are awesome. And I remember thinking as I was playing those games back in the day, like, I wonder where these graphics could go. And just thinking that, in a few years' time, these graphics that seem so good now are going to be outdated. And they were. So I'm thinking, I mean, these graphics that we have now, I mean, just looking at Black Ops, I mean, it's leaps and bounds ahead of, the PlayStation square head era. But I mean, it looks realistic. And I question where we can go from here. But then again, thinking like I did back then, these graphics might look like the square head people back in the day in a few years' time. So at least where I stand on the whole graphics thing is that I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, it looks pretty good now, but, we'll see what happens in a few years. I think it'd be really interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. That guy double backed on you and rocked you with whatever he was using. A little bit. But I want to get to our final story today. As you can tell, there's not a whole lot going on in the industry right now. We're all kind of waiting for the big games of the holiday season to come out. I know Nintendo recently came out and said they're going to have a whole bunch of Wii U information for everyone. I think it was mid-September. I forget what the name of the convention is, but they're going to have a lot of information on it, which about freaking time, because I'm assuming the system's coming out in November. I know we talked about this previously, but assuming it's coming out in November, it sure would be nice to know if it's worth my time or not. Yeah, I mean, nobody knows. Like Andrew said, even Game Informers, nobody knows when it's coming out. So, who knows? Hopefully we'll know in a few weeks here. But the last thing I want to talk about was, really quickly, is Peter Molyneux, the creator of Fable, Black and White, Populous, all sorts of older games, and obviously recently Fable. He left Lionhead Studios and formed a new studio called, I think it's called 22 Cans. And the whole point was he felt that Microsoft was kind of limiting him creatively, which I understand. I mean, Lionhead's done nothing but pump out Fable titles since Fable 1 came out. And so he wanted to try some new things. And so he wants to make 22 different social experiments. And his first one is coming out next month. And it was called Curiosity the Cube. But he's going to change that title because of the Mars rover Curiosity. Whenever you search Curiosity, that's what you're going to get instead of his game. So I don't think he's settled on a new title yet. But from what I've heard, it's coming to iOS, and it's going to be just a bizarre kind of thing, in my opinion. So it's going to be a cube, and people need to chip away at this cube. And to do that, you have to buy, a chisel, I think is what they are. So you can buy, whatever the basic one is, like let's say a stone chisel. You can chip away one block of this cube. And then you can spend a little more. You can get, like an iron chisel and chip away, like maybe 10 blocks of this cube. All the way up to, there is one diamond chisel, which is supposedly around $80,000. I'm not making that, that's what it's been on the internet at least. So if it's on the internet, it must be true, obviously. But yeah, so I think you can only buy one of those. I think there's only going to be one in existence. But supposedly this cube is, it's around 60 million blocks or something. It's a huge thing. And whoever gets rid of the last block will get to know what is inside this cube. And according to Molyneux, it's going to be life-changing. Whatever that means, I don't know. But I don't think anyone else is going to get to know what's in it unless the person films it. So that was from my understanding. I could be wrong. But he wanted to know if people, the experiment is, he wanted to know if people are going to come together and, I guess, unite over a common goal, even though they might not actually get to see what is in the cube. So what do you think, Andrea, real quick?
So let me get this straight. This game, there's an objective, but you don't really know what the objective is? Is that...
You have to get in the cube. You have to find out what's in the cube. So you have to chip away at it, but you might not be able to see it. Only the person who gets the last block of the cube, chips away the last block, that person can see what's inside. From my understanding, I don't know if that's changed or not.
It sounds like in order for that game to be effective, you need a lot of teamwork. I mean, I don't know how it's structured, or do the players go against one another?
No, it's just people chip away at the block. Just any person can buy this game and chip away.
Interesting. It sounds so basic. There's not much to it. I don't know. I feel like I would need to see it to really get how it would work. But, well, I suppose the same thing could be said with Call of Duty. Okay, what is there to do? You just kill the enemy. Maybe capture a flag or two. Which you should do, because in this game, it's the number one priority, because it's domination. That is that. Yeah, it just sounds so simple. There's got to be more to it. Anyway, I feel like I would need to know more about it before I could really answer it. Oh, dogs! Greg got those. Yay!
Yes, I did get those. I pretty much killed one person over and over again because he kept just coming at me. I'd kill him, and then he'd run exactly to where I was, and then I'd kill him again. And then he got angry because I was camping, but it's wouldn't you do the same if someone was just feeding you kills and you could get dogs? Because I certainly would. I don't know about you all, but... But anyways, yeah, we'll see what Molyneux's experiment is like. We'll see if anyone if it catches on, if people actually gravitate towards it. But we're almost out of time, so I want to get into what we're going to be playing this week. I know for myself, I'm going to be playing some more Ocarina of Time. Definitely, hopefully, cross your fingers, get some Black Ops Zombies achievements, finish that off. And Andrea has graciously lent me Crisis 2, so maybe I'll finally start that this week. Andrea, what about you?
Yeah, maybe some Black Ops. I have to say, Zombies has grown on me because I now kind of know what I'm doing, which really helps. Saints Row, of course. I still have yet to finish the campaign. I've been playing the past couple of days, but I haven't actually gone through the story. I've been doing a lot of the side missions, like assassination contracts or capturing cars. to take to the chop shop, of course, to sell them. Anyway, I guess that's it for this week. Thanks for listening to the MOOcast, although I suppose this week it's just the MOcast because we're short 1-0. But anyway, until next week, Moo!
Like us on Facebook, YouTube. Check us out. We're awesome. Next time. Until next time, thank you for watching. Moo.